Chat's open, Bria. Type your question. If you just say hello, and then stop text messaging. Let's type the question now, Bria. Bria, I think did you take the STAR test? Then if not, then take it. If you did, do it. If you did, don't worry about it. Yes, honey? Set the proportions. I'll make it hurt. Set the proportions. Operate. Multiply that out. Okay. Then you're good to go, Bria. I don't know why you. Okay. Whatever. Yep. Now just set up your proportions. You have 2 minutes. Make sure you put it in the middle when you're done. And open up your notes. Make sure you get the title and the I can statement for the day. And then also for today, when you're all ready to go, also open up your book to lesson 67. We will need you in our books today. Hello, Madison. Church. Look at church.
I don't like the gist.
Sure. I'm just gonna. And if you take this off, make sure you put it on the so just make sure you put it on. Got 10 seconds to make sure it's in the middle with your notes and book on top of your desk. Ready to go. I'm going to adapt. Hold on to it. All right. Do nows in the middle. Notes open. Taylor, quickly do the job in the back. Go back. We are talking about geometric solids today. So some more geometry. Make sure you write that on the top of your notes so I know what lesson is. Next week, you will receive a rubric on what I will be grading in your notebook so that you can go through your notebook and make sure you got it right. But the I can statement for today on this side is kind of hard to read, but is I can name geometric solids. Class? I can name geometric solids. Together you be in the middle. I'm not supposed to do it favorite so that you get counted. One more time, class.
I can name geometric solids.
And you should have your textbook open to page, or not page, but lesson 67, so you can see what those solids look like. So on that first page of 742, I want you to look at those geometric solids. I do not know where my set of geometric solids is. I had a bunch of them, but I think this one. That was a weird sound. Is that you again? You tore the page?
Yeah, tell her the page.
742.
Huh?
472. I got the right letters.
Number.
It's one of those days. Oh, before I forget, because that reminded me. There is a fire drill today. I don't know if Miss Husband told you. So make sure that you're following me. We're going to my spot. So when it gets on, I want you to stand up right away, put your jacket on, line up at the door. And then we'll head on down. I don't know if you remember where your spot was last year. We're going to be right next to the cars in front of the playground. All right? So once everyone's lined up, so immediately stand up, jackets on, line up. You'll go down, straight to that spot. Please don't go until I say good to go, because I want to make sure everyone's in a line, and then we can all go. Peace. And if you scream, shout, talk, touch each other, throw hands, whatever it is, automatic detention. Because this is life and death. Also, lockdown drill, I think almost right afterwards. And you remember where the lockdown drill is in here?
No.
Right here. So I will close the door and lock it. Everyone will get in this room. Jaquel, since you're tall, pull down the blinds. I will turn, and then we'll turn off the monitor. Completely dark over here in this corner. Just put in the, lay work as well. And then we'll turn off all the lights and we'll be good to go. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. That slip up made me remember we're talking about geometric solids. They're so much fun. So example 1, I want you to copy down that sentence. Today, I'm sorry, I know I don't like a lot of writing because I'm the math teacher, but today you're going to be doing a lot of writing. Make sure you follow along. Copy down that statement. It's just what it is today. Example 1. And then write down that statement. Because you need to know it. It's also going to be one of the first questions you get on your exit ticket. Trying to get it correct. It reads, imagine, also it's in your textbook as well, as example 1. But imagine pressing a flat rectangular object into clay. What would be the shape of the hole that is formed? All right, so use your imagination. You have a ball of dough, ball of clay, something around. You take one of those cookie cutters. Anyone try to bake cookies before with a cookie cutter? Has anyone seen a cookie cutter before? Has anyone ever tried with that cookie cutter with a large pile of dough, just like shove it straight down there? You get kind of like, you get the shape right, but it's like super long and weird. If you did that, you made a prism. Whatever that shape is, a butterfly prism, a square prism, a dinosaur prism, I like that. So when you push down that rectangular object, going off what I just said, what kind of prism did you just make?
Rectangular prism?
Well, let's see what the book has to say. Yes, a rectangular prism. You don't have to copy down the sentence. Just copy down, write down, answer equals rectangular prism. That way you don't have to do as much writing. So whatever that original shape is, if it asks you, when you push it down on a ball of dough, a ball of clay, something circular and large, it's whatever that shape is, but add the word prism. Because a prism, as you can see, is like a sphere. It's something 3D, elongated. And they're kind of cool. Moving on. Copy down example 2, and then A, basketball, B, cans, and C, shoes. Or else, yes, not actually be COVID. So use the names of geometric solid to describe the shape of each object. Now on page 472, got it right this time, we got a basketball. Look at those geometric shapes with a strong style hand. What does a basketball look like, one of those shapes? Uriah? Correct. I don't know if it does it one at a time. Yes, it does one at a time. He is correct. It is a sphere. How about a can of beans? I don't like beans personally, but they come in cans. Sarah?
A cylinder.
Let's see if she's correct. B is cylinder. It's really easy when you can look at the shapes, right? Also, your textbook is probably over here. You should probably copy down the answers. I can see that's what it's in. Shoebox. What is a shoebox? Lawrence.
A rectangle. A rectangle.
Rectangular prism. You gotta say the word prism. Because if you say rectangular, sounds weird. So just say rectangle. But you have to add the word prism because that shows that elongated form, which is what a prism is. It's like a roof of a house. You see a roof of a house, it's a triangle, but then you go all the way down. Maybe you try sketching the roof. You start with a triangle, fading focal point, draw towards the focal point. All right, example 3. Now we're talking about faces. I want you to copy down A, B, and C as we're talking about a cube. I'm sorry. Oh, we do kind of have a cube. If you think about your Chrome card as more squarish than rectangle, but that's a cube in a way. Layup. Can I have you come in the back? Take 30 seconds to calm down. No deduction. Just come back. Do some deep breathing, and then come on back. Do some deep breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. Don't make it loud. All right, how many faces does a cube have? If we're looking at some cubish kind of things, like this is kind of a cube, just a rectangle. I don't have a perfect cube. You can use your box. How many faces does it have, Jaquel? 6. Let's see. We got 1 here, 1 in the back. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. How many edges? So edges are like the line part of it. It would be like the outside part. It would be like the line part right here. How many lines does it have? Braylon?
4.
Oh, 12.
Oh.
Why would it be 12? Taylor?
You gotta count the size, the top.
Right, because there's more than just, it's more than just being flat or having 2 dimensions. It's a 3-dimension shape. So really, what you can do here, if you ever want to find the edges, take the face, double it. That's usually how it works. Good job, honey. Once you're done with your breathing, come on back. Now, vertices. Vertices are the actual corners, like the corner. Not the line, not the face, but the corner is the vertice. Sydney? Correct, in the cube. Make sure you reference page 472 or the top of your exit ticket because they will have the shapes on there. You just got to remember the definitions, and I believe your exit ticket even has the definitions on top. So if you're like, what's a vertice? What's a face? What does it mean by edge? Not the kind of edge that apparently, what was it? Ella last year tried to give me? But what is on the shape? We're talking about that geometric solid because we want to be able to name them, just like we did. Example 4, copy down A and B. When you're drawing, copy down A and B. I want you to draw your best cube. If you need help in copying it down, it's in your book, in case your eyesight's not that great. Just go to example 4 and copy down what it says. And then make sure you draw your best cube when you are done. Again, I know it's math class, but you're doing some writing. Taylor?
Regular or 3D?
Sorry, what?
Regular or 3D?
A cube is 3D. So a cube was the order. Otherwise, if you want more, smart board. That's smart. That's another way to draw a cube. All right, now we're going to talk about. You're not done. You know what you can do in study hall. Look at one of the edges of the cube. How many edges are perpendicular to the edge? So perpendicular. So class, look at me real quick. This is parallel. This is perpendicular. Do it with me. Parallel, perpendicular. Parallel, perpendicular. Parallel, perpendicular. So it's asking how many edges are perpendicular to that edge and how many are parallel. So you're going to take the edges. That's what it's asking for. How many times does it touch each other on the faces? Braylon?
8 times.
Let's see what it says. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And then how many parallel are there? Which means they're going side to side. How many lines? How many edges are parallel with each other? Lawrence?
6.
Let's see if they are right. We got an 8 and a 6, but we have a 4 and a 3. So you guys doubled it too much. Because remember, it's going to count. So whatever you do, if you want to do it Braylon's way and just counting the edges, just cut it in half. Because you can't count more than one. Because sometimes they double up. You can't have that. Because remember, you're working with shapes, and they're going to be touching each other because they're 3D. And then same thing with parallel edges. Lawrence counted them all. That's great. But since it's calling parallel edges, you got to cut it in half because some of them double up because they touch each other, right? Look at one of the faces of the cube. How many faces are perpendicular to that face, and how many faces are parallel? So that means you're only using the front cube, facing off the front of the cube. How many faces are perpendicular to that face? Sydney?
4 faces.
All right, how many are parallel to this? Cherished?
1.
Correct. Because remember, also, I think I also got another reason why Lawrence and Braylon got double, because what does it say in the instruction? Look at one edge. So you got to take one of the edges and do your counting. Look at one face, and then look for the perpendicular and parallel sides. Any questions? Braylon?
So when it says to look at one, so you're only looking at like one side or one edge?
Right. So for the face one, for perpendicular, there's one that touches here, one touches on the bottom, one touches on the left, one touches on the right. You can't count the one behind it because it's not touching. Now, per parallel, well, this is touching, this is touching, this is touching, this is touching. So those are perpendicular. Those don't count. The one straight across from it is parallel because it's not touching it, right? It's parallel, you'll never meet. Here's you, here's the girl you like, you'll never ever meet. That's advice I got in high school. I hope that's how you remember parallels. I really hope, because that was really embarrassing. Perpendicular, they will meet. That's why it counts as 4, because here's the face. You count those sides that are the other faces that are touching that one face. And then for the edges, it says 1 edge. You count the ones that are only touching that edge. Cherish. What? What? Yeah, you've learned similar things to this in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and now we're touching it again in 6th grade. Let's see if there's any more examples. We're going to skip this one. All right, if each edge of the cube is 5 centimeters, what is the surface area, the combined area of all the faces of the cube? So you need to find the surface area of the cube. It's not just one face, you gotta get all the faces together. And if each edge of the cube is 5 centimeters, how would you find that surface area? Cherish?
We just see how many faces it is, then multiply it by 5.
Sort of. A cube has 6 congruent square faces. Each face of this cube is 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So the area of one face is 25 centimeters. So the first thing you do, so for example 1, put down step 1. Step 1, you gotta find the area. Find the area of one face. So if it was a square, it's got an edge of 2. Its squared is 4. So the area of that face is 4. There's 6 sides. 4 times 6. That was just an example. So going off that example, since we had to double the 5, 25, there's 6 faces. There we go. What's 6 times 25? Jaquel? 150. So step 1, find the area of one face. Step 2, multiply by the number of faces. So if it's a rectangular prism, you count the number of faces, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You multiply that by the area. If you have a rectangular prism, well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Multiply by 6. Whatever the number of faces. You got that? Braylon?
So, one area. Okay, so you gotta find the area. One face.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then multiply by how many faces there is.
Right. Who can tell us the formula for the area of, say, a square? Because it's right up here. Taylor?
The area?
The area equals?
3, 2.
I'll read it. Area equals the side squared. Because the S means side, so you square it. To find the area of a parallelogram, base times height. Area of a rectangle, length times width. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So again, that's why I would say you guys should really get a cheat sheet. Just write down the formulas on a little note, on a little bookmark. Keep it in your math book. I wouldn't care. But the area of a square is area equals the side squared. That's what we did here. The side was 5 multiplied by 5 because that's what it means to be squared. Multiplied by the number of faces. Taylor?
That's 5. Okay, 10.
Where? Up here?
By square. That's 5.
That's an S. An S for side. So the side length.
I can write it down.
Again, I would really write that down somewhere. Otherwise, in your math book on the very back, there's a bunch of formulas in the very back of your textbook. Alrighty then. Any last questions? Your exit ticket has 3 questions on it. And none of them have to do with that last question, so why did we even practice this? I know there's going to be a couple on your homework for tomorrow. Now, I'm going to be handing this out. So put your notebook to the side, raise your pencil above your head, and remember, if you talk at any point for any reason, you get all 30 problems. Make sure, if you raise your hand, just don't talk if I'm looking at you. It's like all on you. That's been getting some of the classes. Just because I look at you doesn't mean I want to hear your voice. That's not how we do this. Make sure you look in your notes. Make sure you look in your book. Make sure you look at the very top because it has everything for you. Get ready. Get set. Go. You have 7 minutes. Make sure that if you have a question online, people, you ask it, raise your hand, and I will open up the chat. Let me stop the recording real quick. Make sure you do the assignment for